guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am doing what I always do when a big franchise wraps up or finishes, and that is of course my one and only, hold on, of course my one and only tier list. So I am doing all of the heroes that we focus on in X-Men 97 for the most part, and even some of the cameos, even though that we don't see a lot of them in the show. I was like, well, they are heroes, so I feel like I need to include them, but it's actually a very small list. Like, I'm pretty sure that there are some more heroes that I've missed, but I want to put the obvious ones on a tier list and do it that way. So, first up, we have Beast. Now, if I'm just looking at Beast in X-Men 97, I loved Beast. I think that he had some great moments. I think that he was really funny. I think that his intelligence really helps the team, and like the whole thing of him being a doctor, because in the movies they gave Jean Grey the Beast thing of being like the doctor and helping the patients and that sort of stuff, because they didn't want to introduce Beast yet. So, but I think I honestly need to put Beast in A. I think that Beast was really, really good in this series. Now, next we have Cable. Now, Cable was a character to me that I liked how he was set up, of like how they need to basically send Bishop and the little baby Cable, baby Nathan, into the future, and Madeline Pryor put all the memories in Cable, because the stuff that Mr. Sinister injected into Cable was the whole half robot, like fluid or crystal or whatever. But I really liked the whole origin. But then when eventually Cable came into the episode where, spoiler alert, Gambit dies, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's Cable. And then when he came back later, in the finale, I was like, oh, okay, that's why, okay. But overall, I really liked Cable, but I think I need to put him in B. Now, next we have Captain America. Now, this one's more than a cameo, because this one Rogue actually spends a little bit more time with Cap in this series. So I honestly think that Cap honestly needs to go in B, because I loved Cap in this series. Even though they didn't really do much, he did he was there for a decent amount of it, and I really, really loved that about it. So next we have Professor Charles Xavier. Everything he built now belongs to me. That's a Magneto line, but anyway. Honestly, I think I need to go with Professor X. I need to go in. I'm trying to decide between A or B on how I want to put him. If I was going based on his character and how much of a kind of a douchebag he was, yeah, actually, you know what? I'll do off that. I'm gonna go in B, because he did act kind of a douchebag to all those characters. Now here we get to one of the interesting cameos as a superhero, and is of course Daredevil. Daredevil does make a small cameo in this series. He has like two very small scenes where he's fighting, which I think is very, very interesting. And we do not see a lot of him, but he is there. I think Daredevil needs to go on B, because of his fighting style. It was cool to see him. It kind of wowed me to see him. But I think that it was honestly kind of like, it kind of shocked me when I saw him, but also I was like, really? But it was basically almost like you got a Marvel animated cinematic universe, if you know what I mean. Now, Iron Man. It was cool to see Iron Man. It did shock me. He does share a scene or two with Cap. Cap shocked me less because he was already in a few episodes before this. But seeing Iron Man, it did shock me. But he did absolutely nothing, so I'm going to go in C. I didn't expect any of the characters to do anything, but I just was like, the world's going to an end, and he just stands around in his suit. It's like, he might as well have been Stark. But Nightcrawler. I really like Nightcrawler. I think Nightcrawler is a really cool character. I thought that they smashed him with this series. I thought that he was absolutely fantastic. I am going to go behind Beast in A. I really liked the character of Nightcrawler in this series. Now, next we have Magneto. Now, Magneto, to me, I honestly think that he should go in A, because he made some very valid points of, like in the second episode where he's having this whole meeting with oh my god, yeah, when he's having this whole meeting with the judges and the council and all that, and he was a very strong leader for the amount of time that he had in this series to develop his good side, and his whole relationship with Rogue and everything was just so cool seeing that. So I need to put him in A. Now, next we have Jean. Jean, to me, is, I love Jean Grey. She's so cool. I didn't put Madeline Pryor on this because she's more of a villain than a hero. She will be in my top 5 villains of X-Men 97 video, so check that out when that comes out. But I think that I need to put Jean above Beast in A, because I like her more than Beast, and Nightcrawler and Magneto, and I thought that she was really, really good in this series. Next we have Jubilee. Now, Jubilee, I like Jubilee in this series, but also her powers are kind of dumb. Like, I like Jubilee as a character, and she is so relatable for teenagers and all that, but I was like, she's kind of not really, how do I put it? She's a good character, but her powers are kind of dumb, because it's just fireworks. It's like, what are fireworks going to do to villains? Even though that you can kind of see what they do to villains in the episode where her and Sunspot get trapped in the arcade game. At the end of the day, though, it is kind of dumb. But I'm going to put Jubilee in B. I like her in this series. I like her more than Cable and Cap. So I'm going to put at the top of B. She's about to... she's on the level of, like, B into A. So next we have Morph. Now, Morph was actually a very interesting character. He's a good friend with Wolverine. There were some funny moments. Most of the X-Men and Marvel cameos will come from him, which is coming with the next one after Morph. But I think that honestly, Morph needs to go in. Oh God, I might need to put Morph in the top of B. I don't necessarily want to put him as high as A though. Next, we have the Incredible Hulk, the 90s Incredible Hulk from the series. So, I am going to put him, honestly, because this one did shock me more than everyone else. I'm going to put him, oh God, below Beast but above Nightcrawler. Because even though that he's not there for long, Morph did turn into him, and that did kind of shock me, like, oh my God. But next we have Cyclops. Now, if you asked me before this series, I would be like, yeah, he's an A character. He's easily an S tier character for me now. I think that this series improves Cyclops a lot. I love the X-Men movies and I defend them because since this series has come out, they've been getting not as much respect as they should get, or used to get anyway. But I do agree that the movies did shoehorn Cyclops in a way that is like, really? He's the leader of the X-Men, why did you do that? But he's amazing in this show. Like, he's a leader. In the first episode where he goes down and he lands and he's like, to me, my X-Men. So cool, I love that. So, next up we have Sunspot. He's an interesting character because he's good, but he doesn't really do a lot in this series. Even though because he's more of especially in this series, he's more the Jubilee character, where she was the new young kid in the X-Men in the original series. He's kind of that role in this series, so I'm going to put him in C because I'm going to put him above Iron Man because he does more than Iron Man, but he doesn't do a lot, really. Alright, next up we have another cameo. We have Dr. Stephen Strange. Now, I don't like the movie Doctor Strange, but the character of Doctor Strange I find very, very interesting. I think I should put him... I'm going to put him above Iron Man, but below Sunspot. Because we don't really see him doing a lot. He's just working on something. It's just a cool little thing where a lot of the heroes are either fighting or they're seeing what's going on with the X-Men. But yeah. So, next up we have Wolverine. Wolverine is my favourite X-Men, so I'm putting him up in S tier. Oh no, not A. I want him up in S tier. There we go. So, because obviously I have a bias against Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Wolverine, but I do love the X-Men 97 version of Wolverine. So next up we have Storm. Storm was really, really good in the first part of this series. I liked the episode that they did of the Life Day Part 1 because it was kind of paired up with the episode I was already interested in, and I felt like the first part of Life Day was more interesting than the second part because part 2 kind of fell off a little bit for me. I don't know what it is because it's one continuous story. So honestly, I'm going to put Storm in A tier. I'm going to put her below Beast, but above Hulk. I love Storm. She was very, very good in this series, but she's not my favorite. But she did easily get improved so much more because of this series. Oh god, my throat. So next we have Black Panther. Black Panther was also really cool to see. It did kind of shock me that he was there. I'm going to put him in C, honestly. Because again, he didn't really do a lot. Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Iron Man just kind of stood around, but they were watching kind of what was happening to the X-Men, and that sort of thing. But Iron Man was just kind of standing around, like a crazy person. So next up we have Rogue. I love Rogue. I think that she is very, very interesting with her relationship with Gambit, and then her relationship with Magneto, and her I love the idea of a character like Rogue, where it's like she can't touch anyone because of her powers. So I'm gonna put Rogue. Oh my God. I'm going to put her in A tier, but above Beast and below Jean. I think she's in my top 4 favorite X-Men ever. But I do love her. Next we have Gambit. It was really shocking when he died. I was like, what in the world? I thought it was very interesting that they did that. I'm going to put Gambit, oh God, above Storm but below Beast, because I love Beast in this series. But I do love the X-Men, like Gambit and all that. I am going to put Bishop. Bishop didn't really do a lot in this series. He returned in the finale to Forge, which we'll get around to Forge in a second. But he was mainly in the first 2 episodes. But that alone, I think I should put him in B. Below Cap, but above Charles Xavier. Alright, so next we have Forge. Forge had the 2 or 3 part finale, because I don't think he was in the first part of the finale. I can't remember. I do know that he was in the second and last bit of the finale, and he did have those Life Day episodes, and a cameo in the episode that Storm lost her powers. So I think I'm going to put Forge in B, below Cap, but above Bishop. Now, next we have my boy, Spider-Man. Now, the difficulty that I have with Spider-Man with this series is not that he was there. I love seeing him, but the problem is that I missed him. And what I mean by miss is that I didn't see him. Because, I saw the thumbnails and stuff first of people putting him more on thumbnails and that sort of stuff. But then I looked at, when I'm taking notes, because I write my reviews as I'm watching the episodes. So when I was typing my notes, the Spider-Man cameo happened and I missed him. So I had my head down taking notes and I missed him. But even then, he kind of just swings away and look at the destruction that's happening. So I am going to put him, even though I love Spider-Man, he's my favorite character, I go put him in B behind Daredevil, because Daredevil actually does something, which Spider-Man doesn't really. I would put Flash Thompson, Peter Parker, and Mary Jane in here, but they weren't in it enough that I was like, I need to put them in there. At least Cap, Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, those characters, I was like, alright, I'll put them in there. Just because I need more heroes on the list. So, guys, that is the end of my X-Men 97 hero tier list. So, guys, please hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, subscribe. Also, the little bell icon to get notified of future videos that I make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.